Hello and welcome to my channel, Fon the Alchemist here. The topic for today is to talk about identity, identity and culture. This is for the Africans in Diaspora. It doesn't matter what part of the world you are in, as long as you're not in Africa and you're from Africa, you're living in the United States or in the Americas, as they call it, you're living somewhere in Western Europe or Eastern Europe, wherever in the world, in the globe that you're living in. This message is for you because what has happened is a lot of us have traveled across and we've come here. Like myself, I live here in the United States. There are many other people who live here in different states. Now, there are a couple of things that I've witnessed. This message is really just to help us to engage with one another much better and to build much better and for prosperity and posterity for the young ones that are coming up. See, one of the problems that I've seen is we as Africans, we do not only have problems in communication, but we have problems in our relationships, especially with our women. That's going to be the juicy topic for this, so stay tuned, do not leave. The relationship that we have with our women. And as you know, you cannot build anything strong if you don't really have a good foundation. It doesn't matter what it is you're building. You can go from computer anything you want to do. If you don't have a good foundation, it won't stand. It's going to fall. And as an African man, I understand that our culture, our identity is one of the strongest things that if we hold on to and follow the norms of our forefathers, then we will succeed. Definitely. But what I've seen here is that I've seen some mishaps. I've seen some confusion, some things that are going off the loop. And I just want to bring this point out so we can start this conversation, because it's a conversation. We got to talk about this stuff, So let's jump right into it. So first things first. I'm going to start with you ladies. Just take it easy, ladies first. I'm going to start with the ladies and I'll jump onto the men and the things that we can fix so we can fix our relationships. Because if our relationships are not good, then every other spheres in our life, be it in our finances, in our communication, in the way we deal our daily things, then we'll not be having success because everything will be messed up. So let's jump right into it. So ladies, some of you are probably already married. Some of you are engaged. Some of you are dating, still trying to move up to the next step. One of the biggest issues that I've witnessed, I've seen, I've also gotten report from my friends, and we talk about is in soccer games and beer parlors, and it has become, something that's kind of normalized now here, which is a little bit strange, being that, we live a long time back home. We did not see stuff like this. You see some of these women, they have this attitude of I am independent. I want to do I can do this myself, or I can go do it by my own. I now make this much, I can do it by myself. No. This is a warning to the ladies in Diaspora. I know I'm coming to you, the guys, but let me start with the ladies first. This is not our culture. For all the ladies, like I said, the African woman is strong. All the women are strong, you included. But one of the things in our culture is for you, the woman, to hold the fort down. You've been the nurturer. You've been the one to prepare us in so many different ways that you don't understand. You are an inspiration. You can't just be there as soon as there's a little problem in the way you start to talk like, okay, I now make this much. I can buy my own stuff and cause all this havoc and all these problems. No, you gotta we understand your role, it's very crucial, but you gotta understand that, back as per our culture, you have to be submissive to the rule. That way we can do our job and we can come as a union to get this thing going. This is an engine. This whole relationship is an engine. Now, if you don't feed it the right fuel, then it's not gonna take you to the destination you're trying to go. And to tell you guys the truth, you guys are like, the main fuel. So if all of a sudden now, you now start making some money and you're making 80 to, because what usually happens, what I've seen is, as soon as some of you start to make within that 70 to 100K, oh man, you made it. You're like calling your own shot. You're like, I can get my own house. If I want this, I can just call some guy. You know, you think you're not a bad, whatever, bad B, whatever that word is. No, you're not. This is not our culture, you know. You're not, you don't want to copy out from these people, from this other Western culture here. This is not your culture. You got to stick to the tradition. Now, I understand that there are some dickheads. I'm going to come after them after this, but I want to tell you, the ladies, that you guys have to be able to tough it up. See how our mothers back home were? They toughen up. They stay the course. That is why some of you are here. If they were just trying to run away and as soon as they had to do something, then I don't think some of you will even be here. So you got to understand that there's a struggle that, you know, we've always gone with this. But you ladies got to understand that you just can't take off now and say, oh, you can do this by yourself. No, we're not saying you cannot do it, but you're not going to be able to figure out a lot of stuff. Not that you're not able to, but it will take you much longer time. So stop trying to compare or trying to do stuff because you feel like you're making some kind of money now. You want to be on your own. You want to do stuff. And then at some point when you start hit that wall, you begin to regret. This is why I'm actually passing this message, because a lot of young ones are looking up to you. Whether you like it or not, you're on social media somehow. If you're not on social media, you have somebody who knows you. And they're seeing how you're living and they think it's cool and they want to copy out from you. Whether you like it or not, you're influencing somebody directly or indirectly. So ladies, take note. I get this part where as soon as you guys start to make this money, you just think now you can buy your own car, you can rent or buy your own house, you can be your own boss. No, this is not the culture. You know, we don't want to kill the culture like this. We can't do the culture wrong like this. You got to stick with the man. And for you boys, some of you guys out there, I mean, you're just so shitty that as soon as you come out here, you see all these women, you go crazy like wild dogs. You got to slow down, homies. You know, this thing has been here 1,000 years ago. It's not going anywhere. Some of you, as soon as you come here, you come, you know, it doesn't matter where you, as soon as you leave Africa and you go to another continent, you know, Europe or America, and you see the women, you go crazy. You start doing stuff out of loop. You know, you don't understand that you're here on a mission. You have a purpose. You know, you have a purpose. You got to drive that purpose. And if you can't drive it and teach your woman, and then what do you think she's going to do? Because remember, we don't only have a purpose to drive our goal, but we need to teach our woman. We literally have to teach them. Say, hey, this is how we're going to do this thing. They might have a couple of points to chip in every now and then. But we have to teach them. But if we're not doing that, and then if they start to act up, and then we also go ahead and complain, and then there's just a big bubble of, you know, a bad cycle of complaint, and there's this big talk going around. Oh, the women are this. Oh, the men are this. When are we going to fix stuff? When? I'm just going to give you an example. I work with a lot of people from Asia, especially specifically from India. You know, I don't see a lot of their women, 90 to 95% of their women stick to their culture. I mean, this is tremendous. This is outstanding. I've never seen anything like this. You see some of their women, they make their managers, their senior managers. That means they make a lot of money. They are still very respectful to their husbands. And I mean, I'm saying this in the most humble way that I can say. I saw a lady who was a senior manager and her husband was just like a junior consultant, but there was still that respect. She comes and parks the car and wait. He finishes, he gets in the car, she drives it. And I've not only seen that scenario, so many of them. Why can't we be like this? Again, we talk about wealth building, you know, generational wealth, where some of us are only here. That is our biggest goal. I know I came here for, you know, for greener pastures. That's how they call it. We want to build wealth for ourselves, for our family, and, you know, for posterity. So how do we build that? You know, if you look at these people, they end up carving up a very nice life for themselves because of how they live. They don't tend to buy things that they are not needed. You know, if they're buying anything, it's an asset. Some of us get in the habit of buying stuff that depreciates without even knowing it. You know, there's so many smart people in the community today we can link up with and learn this stuff, how to build wealth, generational wealth. And it's not just about buying the next Bugatti or the next Gucci bag or dress a certain type of way to keep up with his lifestyle that is fake. I mean, this is not why you're here. I'm telling you right now, 99.999% of us are here for a better tomorrow, to help ourselves and help family back home, and to build something for the future. That is it. Tell me otherwise. So once we're here, we need to always think about that main goal, that why we're here, and to come back again to our relationship with our women. Guys, I've just demonstrated a little scenario about the Indian woman and the Indian man, the ones that are in diaspora. I mean, for the most part, what I've seen a very good cooperation, a great cooperation between a man and a woman from another continent, from a different ethnicity, and they are doing just great. Now, I'm not saying some of us are not doing great, but most of our couples, we're having a lot of problems in our relationship because it is failing. It is failing. I'm seeing a lot of failures. That is why I'm making this video, so we can, fix this up and start to be on the right path. You, woman, understand that you have a role, an integral role to play. Just you being there and listening and not being disrespectful is an inspiration. It's the biggest inspiration that we need sometimes, for you to just sit there and be respectful and listen. That is one of the biggest things that you can do. If you don't know, let me just give you a little tip. Once you start to be humble and listen, that's one of the biggest things that can drive some of us to be get that ambitious idea to do great things. And for you guys, man, you guys got to slow down, man. This thing has been here 1,000 years ago. You know what I'm talking about. You got to slow down on these things. I mean, some of you are acting like wild dogs. We got to understand that we have a responsibility, a big one, for purpose. First of all, to understand what the purpose is, a definite plan and the purpose, and then how to execute it. And part of executing that plan is to teach our women along the way, because they have a big teaching part to bear. We need to teach them to fit into the schedule. If we mess up, then they're going to mess up. And then now we have all this complaint going, oh, the women are doing this, oh, the men are doing this. We cannot lose track of their African identity. The African identity, the culture, we cannot lose track on that. We got to keep hold on that. That is the culture. That is what our forefathers, that's what they held on to that. Some of us have tapped into it from generation to generation. We've tapped into it. Why we're here? Because they survived that. There was something good about it. How can you pick any old Nigerian movie and watch it? See how people live. Even where your community, where you're from, look at how people were living. There was always a mom, or the grandma in the house, or the grandpa in the house. They were all people living like that together. You had this idea of family. It is one of the most powerful things that you can have. We cannot come here now and say, oh, the Western world, and lose track of that. Please, I'm just a messenger with a keen eye for success. And there are so many people out there like me who are passing. Now, the reason for this is to share this information so we can start this conversation. This thing got to keep going. We got to keep this conversation going because we want change. It's not going to happen overnight, so that's why I'm gonna request you, please share this video, like it, comment. Let's keep the discussion going. And if not subscribe, hey, do not forget to subscribe. Please subscribe. Let's keep this discussion going. And until next time, I'm your boy, Fon the Alchemist. Have a blissful day and keep grinding. For the culture. Let's go.